Fly ball onto the track, at the wall, it's gone! Home run!
Turns on a ball, deep right field, and gone!
What a game, what a moment.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into this emergency episode of Flippin' Bats. Shohei Ohtani's 2023 season has come to an end. He has officially been put on the IL with an oblique injury and will miss the remainder of the season. Now, I'm going to discuss what I know about the situation, what I know about oblique injuries, reflecting back on this season that I do believe will result in his second AL MVP award, and a little bit more. But let's start with the recent news that had come out about him being put on the IL, meaning his season will come to an end. It kind of started in a weird way where last night, Friday night, it was just announced that his locker was empty, but there was no information on anything. The Angels wouldn't say anything about it. They said tomorrow, as in today, there would be an update, but it was just an empty locker and left everybody to speculating. And now today it is announced that the oblique injury is what he is going on the IL for. Now, look, here's what I know about obliques, right? They linger. And apparently his just continued to linger. And so instead of waiting and trying to wait till it's perfect, look, he's already 12 days removed from playing in games. And it makes no sense at this point to push it and risk further injury at this point in the season. So I absolutely believe that this is the right decision for him to be shut down for the remainder of the season and proceed forward on what this allows is for him to proceed forward on his arm situation and being able to assess what to do there and be able to attack that even earlier and not wait until the end of the season. So I do think this is the right move. And it's just obliques are really, really tricky, and they just continue to linger, and his definitely lingered. And look, Shohei's a gamer. He is such a gamer. He obviously wanted to come back. And whether anybody thought that was the right or wrong decision for a team that's not going to make the playoffs doesn't really matter. I think it just shows how much of a gamer Shohei Ohtani really is. And he wanted to play. He wanted to be out there. He wanted to continue his season offensively and put up more numbers. And unfortunately, this oblique injury just didn't allow that to happen, and it just continued to linger. So that's a decision ultimately that I do believe this is the right decision for him to shut it down. And I think the best part of that is it allows him to address the arm situation even earlier and attack that earlier as well. But I think now we're able to reflect back on, in my opinion, what will be his second AL MVP award. He won it in 2021. He was right there in 2022, the year Aaron Judge won it. And this year as well, I do believe he is ultimately going to win the award again. I think he was on pace. Had the arm injury not happened, we were on pace to see the greatest season of all time. And I said that in 2021 because it absolutely was the greatest season we've ever seen. And this season was certainly one-upping that. On the mound, fantastic. 10 wins, a 3.14 ERA. At the plate is where everything changed for Shohei this year. 304, these are his final numbers offensively on the season. He hit over 300, which is so cool. 304 batting average, 44 homers, 20 stolen bases, and 95 RBIs. Once again, a season of just dominance on the mound. The biggest domination we've ever seen from him at the plate this season. Another season of 40 homers and 150 plus strikeouts. He's the only player to ever do that. And this is the second straight year that he's ever done that. And add on top of it everything else that his strikeouts per 9 up there with the best in the league. His opponent batting average up there with the best in the league. I also think this season he was the best offensive player in the American League. If he didn't throw a single pitch all year long, I think Shohei Ohtani is the MVP. Now, to say best offensive player in the league, I don't believe we can have that conversation without discussing Corey Seager and what he's done this year. hitting 344, 31 homers on the year. It is ridiculous with the amount of games that he has played. But that has to be factored in as well. Shohei will ultimately have played more games than Corey Seager. And Corey Seager missed a big chunk of time this year, missed about, I think 40 games this year. So that has to be taken into consideration. Obviously, if Corey Seager played a full season hitting 340 with 45 homers or 40 plus homers, we're talking about one of the best offensive seasons of all time. But that is a really big chunk of time missed. So I think without throwing a single pitch, Shohei is still the AL MVP. But he did throw a lot of pitches, and he was really good. And that's why, in my opinion, he is absolutely the American League MVP. And I do think there's a conversation to be had still about the best offensive player in the league, the Hank Aaron Award. I mean, how cool would that be to see him win that award for the first time in his career, which is certainly a possibility, but it's going to be a tough decision there between him and Corey Seager now with the amount of time that Shohei is going to miss at the end of the year as well. But certainly a possibility there. But there's no doubt in my mind, Shohei Ohtani will be the 2023 American League MVP for what he did this year. No doubt in my mind. It is happening. He will win his second one, and absolutely deserved. And this last couple weeks to month of the season where the UCL tear came about and then the oblique and now shutting it down for the remainder, it's the right decision to shut him down. And it does not change, in my opinion, who's going to win the AL MVP this year, and that's going to be Shohei Ohtani. So big update over the last 24 hours. Shohei's season has come to a close. One of the greatest seasons we have ever seen, the greatest offensive season in Shohei's career, a fantastic season on the mound, and I really, really very much so look forward to seeing Shohei Ohtani back out on the field in 2024, wherever that may be. But that does it for this Flippin' Bats emergency update on the the news of Shohei Ohtani. So thank you all for listening. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever. We're also on all social media, including YouTube, where you can watch everything as well at Flippin' Bats Pod for all of them. So until next time, my friends, this has been another episode of Flippin' Bats.